Hey guys, welcome back. Big John Works. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And today's project is taking the excavator and the skid steer and a little plate compactor. And this customer wanted his swimming pool filled in. And there's multiple ways you can do a swimming pool fill. An in-ground swimming pool. I think it was a 18 by 36. 4 foot deep in one end, went to 5 foot, then it went to like 9 foot at the deepest. The bottom we thought was concrete when we were looking at it, but it was just some kind of, however they used to do them in swim pools, 30-some-year-old or more, 40. It's really like crumbly looking clay. It looks like concrete color, but it dug with the excavator. So someone may know what it is. Comment below what they used to put on them. May have just been some kind of sand, but he seemed to think when they dug the pool, they laid it to the right of where I'm digging, just kind of the hump, and spread it out. So he says, I want to grade the side down and just fill the pool up and take a little bit of the concrete out, but leave the 4 foot concrete or 36-inch concrete goes all the way around the pool. And the pool now is a garden. So you'll see at the end, I'll comment again and tell you what I'm talking about, but at the end there is a like really pretty finish on everything except where the swimming pool used to be. And we went in layers and stuff and compacted it, but that last layer I fluffed it up and made it higher because I knew it would settle. And he's wanting, that's this garden spot, he's going to put that little fence he has around it, and he's like, it'll be a pretty garden area now. So that sounds good to me. So with what budget he had and what plan we come up with, I always try to do what the customer wants and try to put my professional twist on it, I guess you'd say, about compacting it and do the best we can for what not everybody has the money to. I mean, to do a pool removal like that and haul fill back in might cost $15,000. By the time you haul everything out, build a road, you couldn't get nothing in hardly. By the time we got rid of some of that crap that was there, some of them bushes and stuff, you couldn't. There just wasn't room in his budget, and it was dangerous and stuff. So he's like, just fill it up. We put the concrete in there. Some people don't do that. Sorry. Some people don't do that, but it's his home and his decision, and if he wants us to try to work with his budget, that's what I'm there for, to try to help, try to help the customer. But you'll notice I speeded up a little bit here just to where it ain't just watching me dig up a bunch of grass. But this job, we worked on it 2 days, I think. 2 days. Had the skid steer and the excavator, like I said, and each one of them worked probably 10 or 12 hours, give or take. So we worked a couple of days, a little bit of hand work involved too, and had to pump the water down and dig a hole where the water wouldn't stand in the pool no more. That's why we figured out it wasn't concrete. We thought we was going to hammer or something, crack the foundation where water wouldn't, but I feel like you're going to displace it, water wouldn't stand in there anyways. But anyways, I'll let you go and watch this just for a minute. I'll chime back in. what I was doing here is there's about 6 to 8 inches of good. You can see it, good blacktop soil, good dirt. Then it just goes straight to clay. So we were trying to capture all that good dirt that we could. And toward the end, it doesn't look like there's that much because we used it all down through there. So I kind of just used the Harley rake toward the end and just blended it all in. And we helped him sow grass and put straw on it at the end. But I just try to save any kind of materials we can that's on site, and I have to truck it in. It saves them money. So we took a little time and dug all this dirt up and piled it out of the way so we could excavate that clay and take care of it. And so that's what we're doing right here. Right here, you can't really tell what we're doing, but that's my buddy Bill. It's my helper. He's good help. Got a lot of knowledge and a lot of things. He just enjoys being around this kind of stuff, and I let him work on what he wants to, and anything he wants to tackle and anything he don't want to, he just kind of helps me with anything I ask. Really, he just does whatever. He's got the pump going and trying to get the water pump down, because significant amount of water. What we've got there is a 3-inch trash pump with a Honda engine, aluminum frame, really nice. Bought it off a family member. Had to buy all the hoses and stuff. I didn't know they were that expensive, but in the long run, that's a really nice machine to have for doing projects. But he's pointing about how much water it's pumping. It does really well. 3-inch trash pump, really. It didn't take it long. I should have got a little more footage of how much it's pushing, but we kind of have a little ordeal. The customer gets puts on his you can see him walking on the deck back there. He gets on his waders and he goes off in there because toward the end we can't get the sump. We try to move it around with a swimming pool hook or a, whatever you call it, something that they use to move the vacuum around in the bottom of the pool and stuff, and it wasn't doing it. So he goes puts his waders on, so he thinks he can hop down there and walk down that incline down to the 9-foot section. Well, when he starts down that section, I didn't have the camera on, or it'd been a crazy video. He slips, and there's probably 2 foot or 3 foot more of just soupy gray mud, and he just feet goes up in there, and he splashes, and he comes back up out of there. He's getting ready to jump in after him. He comes back up out of there, and he's just laughing. Really good dude. He just laughed it off and said, that made for a really good video. I said, I didn't have it on. And he's like, well. So, missed my shot on that one, but everything was alright. He's okay. His feelings hurt a little bit and embarrassed, I guess. But we didn't. I failed before. Everyone's failed and done something like that. So, but it was a unique ordeal. He's big tall fella, 6'5" or something. He slid and fell all down in it, completely head to toe, everything muddy. But me and Bill work together good, as I was saying, and he's really good. With like he'll do the little finishing touches on everything, and I'll do some of the major earth moving, and he can feel it, trim it in good, measure it, make sure everything's level, put culverts in, stuff like that. So right now we're taking our cuts. Wish I had a 3-foot bucket for this thing as far as a tooth bucket, but we may do what we got. It didn't take us that long, but I take it in layers, so I didn't really know if we was gonna have enough for the pool, so I'd take layers and then I would layer it in the pool, and we just worked our way up and walk it in. You'll see here in a minute. I'll chime back in and tell you what we got going on. As you can tell right here, I got down in the swimming pool, made me a little ramp, and the dirt that we were just dumping right over the edge, we were trying to not bust that concrete. If you notice, I built it up about a foot. We were trying not to bust the concrete that's right beside the pool because he's wanting to make us a garden spot, like I said. But if you'll notice, I put all the concrete in one area there in the deepest spot. and then all I'm doing is putting about a 2 foot layer or something that goes right over that and layering it all in there, and then I walk back and forth with the excavator multiple times. And this excavator weighs 8,700 pounds, and it's got really slim tracks, so it walks stuff in pretty tight. And like I said, we just worked with what we had and what the budget we had. Um, but we walked in about every foot, about every foot or something like that, and layered it all the way up to the top. To the last layer was kind of fluffier, and I left it about a foot higher. If you could shoot grade, I was about 12 inches higher than the concrete. So as it settled, it would settle evenly. Plus, he's just planting a garden. He said it's okay if it settled some. I can just add material and compost and stuff as I, work my garden. So he was okay with it, and I was okay with it. But we had a plate compactor. We tried compacting the whole thing, but it was such clay, and I was walking it in so good with the excavator. We ended up just using it right around the corners and the edges. Plus, when we take that set of steps out, we had to fill in there, and it was kind of hard. I couldn't get the excavator in there, so Bill took and ran the compactor in there. So it worked out pretty good. Everything's good. Grass is growing now. I may do a site visit later and do like an updated video and let you all see. If you guys would like something like that, drop a comment below if you'd like to see what it looks like now, and I could try to go over there and follow up. here's where I was talking about. I mixed the topsoil in. You can see a little bit of it with that Harley rake. Still, at this point, this video is from a while back. I just found the footage and been trying to work through some of my older footage, and I'm getting better with filming and stuff. So, but you can see the topsoil I've layered on it, but there's so much clay. I just kind of mixed it together. I'll get it out in a second. Mixed it together, and that seems to be, the best thing you could do. Get that good seed bed, 5 or 6 inches of good loose material where the grass come in good. We put straw, good seed and stuff on it. And he's a gardener, so I'm sure he watered it and took really good care of it. But as you can see, this Harley rake does a really good job. But I'm curious to see how the SR3 rake works out. This has been many months ago. But I'm curious to see how it works out and deals like this, and see if it seems like it's going to be kind of a jack of all trades. You can clear a little with it, you can level with it, just different things, rake with it. So I'm going to put it to the test. I got a lot of money in it. I'm going to put it to the test. But it still was about $3,000 or $4,000 cheaper than a Harley rake. So if it do anywhere close to like a Harley rake, I'll be well satisfied with my purchase. Here is the results. Customer is very happy. He needs a tad bit of raking, but he said, he can take care of the little fine, we swept off the concrete best we could and stuff. But he said he would take care. You can see the topsoil blended in pretty well, but there's what I was talking about. That's going to be a garden, and it don't look bad. I've got really good black topsoil and compost right up on top. It's 6 to 8 inches, maybe more, higher than the concrete around it. It'll settle really well. Everything blended in really nicely as you turn to the right. Everything, all that, them little lumps, that's just all loose topsoil. As it rains, it'll smooth out, and everything will work good. So really was happy with the product, and the customer was happy. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.